We finally found it.
Yes, that's right. We're on location at the infamous Mels Hole. And, well, it's a hole.
Today on the show.
Good morning, scallywags.
13.
We're back to 13.
Again, yeah.
Again.
This is week number 4 of our 13 weeks leading up to Halloween.
Mm-hmm. So, you know, we do this thing where we flip-flop every week. Last week we did cryptids. Jingling again, man.
Jingle, jangle.
Jingle, jangle.
I got the jingle, jangle.
This week we're going to be talking about some more urban legends.
Urban urgins.
Urban legends. I got
Urban
the
legends.
coffee coughs.
Yeah.
So I'm going to kick it off. We're going to Washington. You want to kick it off? You kick it off.
Can I kick it off?
You can kick off.
I can do that? You sure?
20 yards.
Okay.
Yep.
Go long.
Go long.
All right, because we're going out to Wyoming.
Wyoming, big sky country.
Now, to kind of recap what we're doing here, of course, that is where the 13 weeks leading up to the week of Halloween. We are covering all 50 states. I'm not going to read the list off of what states we've covered already because it's getting kind of lengthy. But we're doing about 4 states a week until we hit all 50 states, covering either the urban legend or the cryptid from that state. And this week, of course, as we mentioned, urban legends. So, in Wyoming, we're going to talk about the Platte River Death Ship. And this is, for over a century now, Wyoming residents have reported a strange and unsettling apparition, which is the mysterious Death Ship of the Platte River.
Piloted by
Davy Jones.
Davy Jones.
Yeah, sure. No, that'd be the Flying Dutchman. But yeah, which came up in the search as well. So I mean, you know, they could be a thing correlated. Images of the infamous ship rise out of the fog in late fall along the Platte River between Alcova and Torrington. According to local lore, if you see it, there is a chance that someone you know will die. See, now that's the part that bothers me. There's a chance. I've got hiccups. Excuse me. There's a chance that someone will die. So it means that it doesn't happen every time? So that's called coincidence.
Maybe somebody will die, they just don't necessarily know them. Or maybe it's just like a passing acquaintance. Like, do you meet somebody on Facebook?
Well, no, if you'll shut up and let me talk here. No, it is a little more specific than that. The legend dates back to 1862 when a trapper allegedly witnessed a ship covered with frost sailing down the Platte. The ship's crew was huddled around the body of his fiancée. He saw her on the ship there on some pallets laying down, and she died later that day. Yeah. In 1887, a cattleman claimed that he saw the image of his wife on the ship, and she died later that day. Then in 1903, another man was chopping down a tree along the river when he saw the body of a friend of his laid out on the ship's deck, and as fate would have it, his friend died that day. So yeah, it's very specific. You see someone that you know on the ship. So like I would see, El Chapo on the ship, and then later that day, El Chapo would die.
I don't think we need to make any kind of field trips to Wyoming then.
No.
I'd really not want to.
We're not taking the show on the road to Wyoming.
Yeah.
At least not with El Chapo.
Not with El Chapo, yeah.
Yeah.
From Wyoming, we're going
I got a very, very distressed look from El Chapo when I mentioned his name. He's sitting right over there. Say hi.
Hello.
Hello.
He doesn't look too distressed now.
No, he's good. He's back on his phone now.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So from Wyoming, we're going to go to Washington next.
I guess we're done talking about that. All right.
Moving on. We're moving on.
Okay.
We're going to talk about Mels Hole. I understand.
Insert Beavis and Butthead
yeah.
laughing here.
Mels Hole is, according to urban legends of locals, is a allegedly bottomless pit around Ellsberg, Washington. Claims were first made on the radio show Coast to Coast AM. By the
Space
caller.
Coast to Coast.
Space Coast, Coast to Coast. The legend of the mythical bottomless hole started on February 21st, 1997, when the call-in guest claimed he had formerly owned rural property 9 miles west of Ellsberg that contained a mysterious hole. He measured the hole had an infinite depth and the ability to restore dead animals to life. Waters claimed to have measured the hole's depth to be more than 15 miles by using fishing line and a weight.
That's not possible.
That's a lot of fishing line.
A hole that deep. It would collapse on itself. It's not, it's not possible.
Yeah, it's not possible. According to Waters, the hole's magical properties prompted U.S. federal agents to seize the land and fund his relocation to Australia. It's kind of weird and oddly specific. We don't like you have a hole on your land. Here's money to go to Australia.
Yeah. There's no holes in Australia. You'll be safer.
Local news reporters who investigated it claimed they found no public records of the said person. And he went on to say that pals had found an ordinary mine shaft on his property, and it was inspiration for the story. There you go.
Yeah. So Mel also owned a diner, and Alice worked there.
Yeah.
And Flo. She said, "Kiss my grits."
Kiss my grits.
Fun fact: the deepest hole that actually has been dug by man, or the deepest hole that is known of, is a man-made hole. Was just under 9 miles long, or deep rather. And it was in Siberia.
Yep.
And it's actually the hole that was an archaeological dig or digging for
No, they were
gas
digging for
or
gas.
something, I think. But yeah, that is actually the hole that sparked the another urban legend, which is the hole to hell.
Yeah.
Where they got recordings of hell, but it was actually just clips from a old movie.
Yeah. I would think about the only thing you're going to hear that deep is probably just the creaking and groaning of the rocks as they move underneath pressure.
Kind of sounds like my back.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, where are we going next, Spoon?
Well, we're going to go on over to Rhode Island.
Rhode Island, small state.
Even a state that small still has its own little urban legends. Now, this one's kind of fun because it actually kind of ties into two different stories here.
Ooh, two stories.
We're focusing mainly on the Mercy Brown incident that occurred in 1892. And now, it was part of the New England vampire panic, and that's another urban legend from that area. Well, it happened. It's not necessarily an urban legend. It was the vampire portion of it was urban legend. What actually happened did actually happen.
The panic was real.
Yeah, and that was I just spit something. I don't know what that was, but that was a reaction to an outbreak of tuberculosis in the 19th century throughout Rhode Island, eastern Connecticut, Vermont, and other parts of New England. Consumption, which is what tuberculosis was called at the time, was thought to be caused by the deceased coming back and consuming the life of their surviving relatives. Bodies of the believed vampires were then exhumed. Their internal organs were ritually taken out and burned to stop the vampire from attacking the local population. Now, Mercy Brown is one of those vampires, or supposed vampires, right?
Vampire.
Happened in 1892, excuse me, and is one of the best documented cases of where they exhumed a body there to perform the rituals on it to banish the undead manifestation. The incident was part of the New England vampire panic, and several cases of consumption occurred within her family of George and Mary Brown in Exeter, Rhode Island. Friends and neighbors believe that this was due to the influence of the undead. 2 family members' bodies were dug up. They exhibited and expected levels of decomposition. However, Mercy Brown, and what makes this one popular, very little decay. She'd been dead for quite some time, but basically what it boiled down to is she was buried in an above-ground vault that had kind of refrigerator-like conditions, so it kept her body very well preserved.
No, they just Ziploc.
But yeah, keeps the freshness in, keeps decay out. But at the time, they didn't think that through. So they were just like, well, she's barely rotted at all.
Yeah, she's got to be undead.
Now, she had also moved positions. But that is actually part of, when rigor mortis sets in and goes away and all that fun stuff. The body
liquefies, it kind of moves around.
Things starts to move around a little bit.
Yeah.
But they took out her heart, they burned it. Then the ashes were mixed in with water and given to her brother Edwin to drink because he was sick. And they thought that he was her latest victim. So they gave it to him. He drank it in order to stop the influence of the undead. And he died 2 months later.
There you go.
There you go.
Burned heart.
Don't drink the ashes of a burned and somewhat decayed heart.
Yeah, that's not gonna cure you.
No.
But back in the late 1800s, they didn't
realize that back then, 1892.
Yep, it was a thing.
That was a thing.
And then they went on to found places like Waverly Hills for tuberculosis and a lot of other sanatoriums so they could get all that fresh
I think they should have just kept calling it consumption. I think
consumption's a pretty neat
name. Sounds more dangerous.
And more dangerous.
And consumed with
Consumption.
consumption.
Yeah.
Consumed with consumption. That's a tongue twister for you. Hey! Join us on Thursday.
So we're going to wrap it up going to Iowa. We're going to talk about the Black Angels.
Great place to wrap things up in
Iowa. Corn. Talking about a couple statues. One of them is in Oakland Cemetery. Was erected by the Feldvent family in 1912. Now, legend goes on that the statue was placed in honor of Teresa Feldvent, a physician who immigrated to America from the Bohemias, and her son went to Iowa City. The statue is still there today. But there's a couple of weird things about this, guys. One of the legends has it is that the lightning actually hit the statue, caused it to go black. That's an urban legend through there. But what's really funny is this isn't the original Black Angel. The original Black Angel is actually in Council
exploitation film from the 70s.
Is actually in Council Bluff, Iowa. This angel rests at Ruth Ann Dodge's Memorial, which is located just outside of the entrance to Fairview Cemetery, or the Old Burying Grounds, as it's called by locals. Now, legend has it that as you get closer to death around this statue, the statue will actually come to life and offer you a vessel to drink from. Now, this vessel...
It's got a burned heart in it.
Yeah. The vessel or visitation or dreams of the angel basically wants you to drink the silvery liquid. If you deny...
Unicorn blood.
Yeah, if you deny drinking this liquid, you continue to live. But should you ever accept a drink from it, your death is imminent. Ruth
Go
had,
test this.
yeah.
I'll be right back. Going to Iowa. See you guys later.
See you guys later. So yeah, Ruth had a vision 3 times. This lady Ruth, as she drank on her to offer to drink this stuff, and then finally, on the 3rd time of this dream, she went ahead and drank from the vessel that the angel had offered her. A few days later, she died. On her deathbed, she told her daughters that the angel had offered her a wonderful water of life. I drank from it, and it gave me immortality.
It's not that good. It's kind of...
Wait.
Just, I didn't really go to Iowa.
I was going to say, you better be the Flash if you did. So anyway.
I know that you guys were wondering if I really went.
Yeah. So anyway.
So yeah, that's going to do it for this week. So we'll have Back with Cryptids next week.
Cryptids.
Yeah. If you got some cryptids you'd like us to look at, put those down there in the comments.
Yep.
And we might just hit up on 1 or 2 of those. We'll be doing 4 at a time. I think pretty much...
Yeah, pretty much for the next week we have to do 4 in order to
be able to hit all 50. Yeah.
Yep.
So a couple little twofers there. Mm-hmm. That one had 2 angels and mine had 2 stories. And I'm gonna let you talk because I got hiccups.
He's got the hiccups. So as always, we want you to do the social media stuff: the Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram. Like, share, subscribe. You're on YouTube anyway, guys.
Come cry.
I actually had a little.
Come cry with us.
I'm gonna cry if I can't
You're talking
get this.
Really weird today.
Oh.
So yeah.
You're already on the YouTube, so subscribe, guys. You're there. Do it.
Don't forget, we've got a challenge out there that whenever we hit 200 subscribers, that whoever has done the most sharing of our videos and the most inviting others into the show, we were going to be looking at things, on Facebook and stuff like that. See who's done the most to bring others into the conversation. That person is going to get a $25 Amazon gift card. So get out there, go all the way back to the beginning, and just start sharing.
Yep,
guys.
just start spam sharing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bring them in.
Don't forget to like us on Facebook. Like us. Give us a like. Give us a thumb up on Deja Vu.
Hit the like button on this video.
Hit the like button on this video. Cannot.
And neither one of us can talk today, so we're just going to say until tomorrow.
Hi, I'm John from Springfield, Missouri. This is your Russian clip of the day.
Ну вот да, в августе можно рвануть, в принципе, как раз отпуск возьмем. Смотри. Что смотреть?
Чувак, смотри впереди. Что делать?
Нифига себе. Что, серьезно? Посигналим фаром, включи, засвети.